It feels like we're in the middle of a massive AI gold rush, right? Where these groundbreaking ideas are basically the new currency. But what do you do is you have that killer idea, but, well, nothing else? OpenAI thinks it has an answer with a brand new program they're calling Grove. And honestly, it could completely change how AI companies get started.
So picture this. You've got this amazing, world-changing idea for an AI application, but you're at square one. I mean, no team, no prototype, not a single line of code written. This is the reality for so many aspiring founders out there.
And that's exactly where Grove comes in. OpenAI has launched this whole initiative for entrepreneurs at the absolute earliest stage of their journey, sometimes even before the idea is totally baked. Think of it as a launchpad, right, for that next big wave of AI innovation.
So, okay, what is this program, really? Let's pull back the curtain and take a look inside OpenAI's Grove. See how this founder factory is actually put together.
So, at its heart, Grove is this super intensive 5-week mentorship program that kicked off in 2025. And it's really laser focused on people who are just starting out. The whole goal is to take those baby ideas and nurture them right from the ground up. And it's really important to see where Grove fits in with everything else OpenAI is doing. You see, they already have programs like Pioneers and Startups, but those are for companies that are already up and running and need to scale. Grove? Nope. Grove is all about nurturing. It's for the dreamers, the thinkers, the ones starting with that totally blank canvas.
And when I say they're starting small, I mean really small. The very first group is super exclusive. We're talking just 15 people. And that's totally on purpose. They're trying to create this really dense, high-intensity vibe right there at their HQ in San Francisco. And man, the timeline for that first group was tight. Applications shut down at the end of September. And then, boom, it's a 5-week sprint from October 20th all the way to November 21st. We're talking incredibly fast-paced here.
So, what's in it for those 15 lucky people? Well, the whole experience is built on 4 key things. You get direct mentorship from OpenAI's top brains, you get hands-on workshops, and, this is a big one, you get early access to new models. And it's all built around this idea of intense collaboration with the other people in the program.
Yeah, the perks are pretty incredible. Think about it. Weekly office hours, actual in-person building sessions in San Francisco, and you get plugged into this insane talent network. Now, it's not a free ride. You're expected to put in about 4 to 6 hours a week. So, yeah, it's a serious commitment, but the payoff could be absolutely huge.
Okay, but as you can imagine with any big new thing in tech, not everyone is singing its praises. The reception's been mixed. So I think it's really important to look at both sides of the coin here, the big promise of Grove, and some of the potential dangers that people are worried about.
On the one hand, the upside is just enormous. Supporters are looking at Grove and seeing a way to really spark innovation. They see it as a way to give more people access to these incredible AI tools, democratize it a bit, and to build a solid community that's thinking about responsible AI right from the very beginning. It's all about empowering that next generation. But all that optimism brings up a really critical question. Is OpenAI actually building this beautiful open field where 1,000 flowers can bloom? Or are they building a walled garden, a closed ecosystem for AI that they ultimately get to control?
And that really gets to the core of what has people worried. Critics are pointing out that a program like this could just concentrate even more power inside one single company. They're asking, hey, is the selection process just going to favor the usual tech insiders? Is this really about corporate interests or pure innovation? And of course, what's the long-term hit to inclusivity going to be?
So with that whole debate swirling around, where does Grove go from here? Let's dig into what OpenAI's long-term vision really is for this pretty ambitious founder factory.
And let me tell you, they are not thinking small. Sources are literally describing this as an attempt to become the Y Combinator of the AI world. And if you're not familiar, Y Combinator is the legendary startup accelerator that launched giants like Airbnb and Dropbox. So yeah, that's the level of scale and influence OpenAI is shooting for. And it looks like they have a pretty clear roadmap to get there. Right now, it's just one group, one cohort. But the plan is to scale up fast. We're talking multiple cohorts every year. And then the long-term goal is to take the whole thing global. So this is definitely not a one-off experiment. This is the first step of something way, way bigger. When you step back and look at the big picture, what Grove really shows us is a huge strategic shift for OpenAI.
They're not just a research lab building cool, powerful models anymore. No, they are actively stepping into the role of a central player, someone who is building and shaping the entire tech ecosystem that grows around their technology.
And that brings us right back to the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Is Grove going to be this incredible, fertile ground that launches 1,000 new, diverse ideas out into the world? Or is it going to end up being a system that funnels all that power, the very future of AI, into the hands of just a select few? The answer to that is probably going to define the next chapter of tech.